Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce metal, as in the material like steel or iron, meddle, as in he earned a medal for his bravery, and meddle, as in she's always meddling in her affairs. So you might have noticed, as I said, meddle, meddle, and meddle. I didn't change my pronunciation. These are all pronounced the same way. So they all have the first syllable is stressed, and they have the eh vowel, like in read or met. They all have a flap sound in the middle. In the dictionary, you may see this written as a T. You may also see it written as a D in IPA. They probably write it for a T when it's spelled with T, and they write it with a D when it's spelled with a D. But the flap sound is the same in both cases. So meddle and meddle, we make no difference between those. We use a flap, which means we're lifting our tongue up to the T and D spot. Our voice is on and we're not building up any pressure. So not metal or meddle, no T and no D, a flap instead. You can learn more about flap T in my several videos for that. Lots of words have flap T, and we use it a lot in linking in American English. The flap sound is used for an R sound in some other languages, and I'll direct you to a video talking about flap R versus flap T and D as well. If you're interested, leave me a comment and I'll show you where you can find that video on the channel. But basically, for all of these words, you want to go up to a nice soft D, meddle, dull, and then you're going to go right from that sound into a syllabic L. And by syllabic L, what I mean here is that the sound of ul functions as a syllable. Usually a syllable has to have a vowel and a consonant, but the ul semivowel is its own syllable in this case. So you're basically going right from that flap to a ul sound, dull, dull. Of course, there's a tiny bit of vowel sound because I can't go between two consonants in a row that are voiced without a little bit of vowel, dull. Well, I can't, moved. I can do it with certain consonants. In this case, you feel as you're releasing the flap and going into the ul, there's a little bit of a schwa or a little bit of an sound there, meddle, dull, but really just trying to think about going right into the L from the D is going to be helpful. I do have a number of videos talking about flap T plus L, talking about how to say words like settle or Seattle, little, etc. Same phenomenon that's happening here in these words, meddle, meddle, and meddle. And you can see good examples of how we spell it. So sometimes T-A-L or D-A-L, sometimes D-D-L-E, also sometimes T-T-L-E, as in little. That's that same combination of the flap plus the syllabic L. You can learn more about flap T and syllabic L individually and put together in our Sounds of English course, where I walk you through all of the sounds and how they come up in words. That's a great way to get very confident, to understand all of the sounds of English, to pronounce words confidently and naturally, and to know how spelling and sounds are different so that you can really pronounce things in English, in the American English way, correctly. Once you can say meddle, meddle, and meddle, try practicing them in some short phrases. Also try using other words that have this combination, like settle, battle, little, etc., so that you feel really comfortable with the sound combination of the flap and the syllabic L. Thanks so much for this request. If you have a request for a word or a phrase, fluent speaking, you'd like to see here on the channel, feel free to leave that in the comments. I do go through those and respond, give you resources here on the channel and also on our website and in our online courses on speechmodification.com. Thanks so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you again in our next new video. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.